Hello and welcome back to the Jumpcast. This is Max 2, finally returning after a very long and unintentional hiatus, and I'm joined by my two other co-hosts, Max and Nick.
Hello.
Hello.
We're
We're
so
happy to have
happy he's
you back,
back.
Max.
I appreciate
I
it,
could literally
guys.
cry right now.
I'm crying. Can you hear? Anyway, this is episode 79 of the Jumpcast, and we are going to be covering chapter 267. We are still within the Inhuman Makio Shinjuku Showdown. It is part 38. God damn it, Gege. Maybe you should call it something else, but I understand why you didn't. And this has been a long ass road. But before we get into the conversation, I'm going to throw it over to Nick for the recap.
All right, let's just jump straight into it. So, if you remember back from last chapter, the ending panel was just a picture of Sukuna's finger with Sukuna in a little bit of shock, about to throw out his domain. We're going to cut to a little flashback between Yuta and Gojo. They're doing the soul swapping training, it looks like. So in this conversation, Gojo's in Yuta's body and vice versa. So they are basically going over that Yuta wants to have Rika eat the last finger in order to copy Sukuna's shrine technique. Gojo says nope. I don't think that'd be good enough, and especially because you don't have enough information on how to use the technique properly, basically. In which it shows like a little flashback of Yuta asking Inumaki, like, you can use your curse technique over the phone. That's crazy. It goes into just a lot more detail on how Yuta's copy curse technique works, which is basically Rika just needs to eat a piece of the person to copy the curse technique. He also needs to, I guess, at least see it a little bit, and depending on the curse technique, it may also have to be a vital piece of the person's body. And one of the other stipulations is that it cannot be brought back with reverse curse technique. So I guess whenever he used Uro's curse technique, or they later go into more examples with Inumaki and Angel's curse techniques. They what is it? They took serious parts of the body that could not be healed. They even talk about how Charles, they took off a piece of his ribs in order to get him to do that, and he he says in this panel, like, "You're gonna heal me back, right? You're gonna fix this." With Hikari saying, "Yeah, later." So, with this and with this whole plan set up, we know in the past that if sometimes they give too much details to Yuji, it means that Sukuna may know the plan. But for this one, I guess it wouldn't share enough information anyway, so it was good. This all culminates in Yuta eating, or not, excuse me, Rika eating one of Yuji's fingers in order to copy the curse technique. And then after this, after he realizes the bluff, we cut to some place in Jujutsu Technical School with what is it, Utahime and Principal Gakuganji, talking about the finger, how you can't really damage it at all. You can enforce a curse technique on it with the binding vow that you won't deal damage to it specifically, like the curse object itself. We then see Nobara is back. She woke up like less than an hour ago, so I don't know how long they've been fighting Sukuna. But she's awake. She's got an eye patch, and she does resonance on the finger. So then that, of course, makes it so that it startles Sukuna. He can't use his domain. He's just like, what the hell's going on? I can't even control my curse energy correctly. And then Yuji just lays the smackdown on him. He gets the guaranteed hit with dismantle. Sukuna vomits a little bit of fingers. He's like, this is not the end for me. I'll finish you off. And then he gets hit with a divergent fist, so that throws him off as well. And we see Yuji say, Sukuna, let's finish this. Your curse must end, as he lands another black flash on him straight in his gut. And it looks like he's passing out from it. So yeah, uh, a fun chapter. What did you guys think?
Bro, like I can't tell if this is a cop out or not cuz like I don't hate it. Like I really wanted Nobara to just be dead because I feel like that was better for her character, but this kind of works within the
Hmm.
bounds of the story. Like I think it's cool that she's like this like final missing link to get Megami back. So then we've got the trio. Anyway, I don't know. It's just
Hmm.
it's a lot.
Yeah. Pruden, what did you think?
Yeah, I like that Nobara's back. My one gripe, and this could be like an artistic depiction of her, is I wish it was more than just her eye missing. Um, because in when in Shibuya, she had like right before like her face exploded, she had like markings from Mahito on her face as well. So I wish there was like more of a physical depiction of her, like of that. But I feel like it was a little too like I do agree that it's cool to have her back, but it feels a little too convenient to have her come back now. I do like that. She think it'll be really cool because I think hopefully this means Sukuna can't actually do any ass pulls or anything, maybe. But who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah, it also looks like he burst a hole through Sukuna is also another thing to point out. At least in the back, it looks like he has worn skin, so he may have like punched a hole through him.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this chapter, because of course Nobara coming back is like had a lot of um opinions on it. Uh, I personally am also kind of in the same camp that I wish that Nobara was dead, just because we've had this. It's like such a weird fake out, especially because like 2 chapters ago in the panels of people that had died that impacted Yuji's life, Nobara was listed there, and of course, from how this chapter looks, Yuji definitely didn't know that Nobara was awake until just then. Um, because you can kind of see the tear in his eye when he smiles and gets the guaranteed hit. Um, but um, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I like I'm happy that she's back, but at the same time, it's just like why? I forgot if I brought it up last episode as well. I probably did, but I had the idea that it was going to be kind of like Nanami's curse tool. So like, his tool was embedded with his curse technique. And I thought it was going to kind of be the same case with Nobar's hammer. Um, but no, she's just back and she can do it. So I'm shrugging my shoulders. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious exactly because was it ever mentioned what happened to her body? Because I can't remember.
Um, Nita said like, oh, she's not breathing. She doesn't have a heartbeat, but there's still a chance. Have a little bit of hope.
But don't get mad at me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Um, so
Yeah. And then when Yuta asks Megami, we don't get a straight answer. And a lot of people believe that Nobara would be back because of that.
Mm-hmm. Just took literal eons.
Yeah. There's been more of the manga without her than with her, I think, now.
Yep. Which is it's
Um,
an interesting choice.
yeah. But it also kind of confirms going back to when Gege said like it's either one person dies or all of them, except for one. So now it very much just looks like Gojo is going to be the one person that dies, and everyone else lives. So
Oh, I getcha.
kind of cool, kind of cool.
Uh-huh. Again, I think I don't remember who brought this up, but one episode where I was still on the podcast, we brought up how like Gege has not explained, like he doesn't explain jack shit, and I feel like that's a really big issue here.
True.
Like he's explaining the quote unquote most important stuff, but like we get nothing with the characters. It just makes me
Yeah.
it makes me wonder if like and I doubt this is going to happen, but it makes me wonder if the anime is going to give us more in terms of character development. At least I'd personally like to see that, because we really do not get a lot in the manga.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to bring up. Um, Although surprisingly, we haven't had any like filler or anything, so I don't know how much context would be brought up there.
Right.
But I guess that's also why we have 4 chapters to wrap everything up. Like the author's comment last time, which was that like this chapter was supposed to be the end of the fight. So apparently, no more Inhuman Makio shit.
Showdown. You've
Yeah,
been
like
saying it for like almost a year now. You gotta get it down, dude. You
uh,
better have it down.
huh, oh, I listen, dude. Um, crap, my brain just froze. The what was I supposed to say? So Sukuna is supposed to be finished after this. Uh, so I don't know. Well,
Hopefully, he finally is.
yeah, I think it is, especially with that hole and how much like Sukuna was saying, like he's at his end. He can't even use reverse curse technique. I'm sure this domain is too much. And then like, haha, Black Flash, brother. Never mind.
Yeah, bro just needs to at the very least just give up. I mean, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, just like be done, please, please.
You know what it feels like? It feels
What?
like the Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the boar knight who keeps getting his limbs chopped off.
Oh, the
Is a flesh
Black
wound,
Knight?
is
Yeah, the
just a
Black Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, the Black Knight. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can
Yeah,
see that.
it definitely feels like it. He just keeps on going no matter what.
So
yeah.
it like it's genuinely gonna. It makes me wonder if they are gonna do the same thing where he's just gonna be a fucking torso, and they're just gonna string him up inside of the school somewhere, and just hope he
Bring him
doesn't
up in one of,
reawaken.
you could say in one of Tengen's rooms.
Megami
Tengen's
sometimes
not
says
even there.
hi.
Yeah, like
Once a year, they let Megami out. They walk him around the school.
Yeah,
He's on
on
like
a
one of those like
leash.
I was gonna say like one of those like leash backpacks they
Yeah.
put toddlers on for like Disney. So
Oh, good connection. A bunch of people have been saying Disneykaisen because of Nobara
oh,
being alive, which I think is also kind of dumb.
how
I don't
come no one
know.
said that when Yuta took over Gojo's mind? Like
Yeah, that is a good thing to bring up as well. Like what is it? This fandom can't have shit sometimes. They can't agree on anything. Or they just like it. I don't know. It's so
it just
overblown.
I
Like, yeah,
it's
uh,
oh sorry.
no, no, no. Go for it. Go for it.
I
Go
was gonna
ahead.
say it's annoying because like we see a lot of the cast has died. You know, Higuruma, Choso, Gojo. You know, maybe I don't know if Toto's still alive. May potentially
I
Toto.
think he's alive.
Um,
The guy's
but
seen worse.
yeah, like Nanami, like there's a lot of the cast, and not just like characters, but like major players and characters in the story have died, and it's I don't want to say it's just people not paying attention, but it's people like tunnel visioning. Like, yes, I know the new chapter is very cool and very big, but um, you know, you can't just only look at the new stuff. You have to look at everything else.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, it's a little annoying for people to call it like Disneykaisen because I feel like JJK has never been like that. Like every action, every character death has an impact or consequence to the story that is very meaningful. And I was like, come on, let's not go there, please. Like,
yeah.
come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. That also brings up another thing of that like they totally could have had like Higuruma. I already brought this up to you, Max One outside of
Mhm.
the podcast, but like they totally could have drawn instead of Nobara as like an impactful person to Yuji, like it could have been Higuruma. Like they could
Yeah.
have had him there as well, but it was like a nope.
Yeah, there could have been plenty of characters there to kind of motivate Yuji and maybe help him out, but I like we've talked about while Max has been gone, but I really would have loved to see if it was more of Megami fighting back because we got like a snippet of that last chapter. And I don't want to discount Nobara and like the story of Jujutsu Kaisen because she's very important, but
Mhm.
I think narratively it would have made more sense for Megami at this point to somehow like Sukin is about to like hit him with a slash, and similar to when Geto kind of tried to like muscle memory tried to take back his body from Kenjaku and Shibuya, like the slash is moving and Sukin's hand like raises in the air, the slash goes shooting up in the air, um, and or like Megami has control to the arms, while Sukuna has control of the other, so they have like a domain clash that way or something. But you know,
Yeah, I agree. Like there could have been some other stuff like where would like it would have been cool for him to like summon the greater wolf and also have
yeah,
him like try to tag team with Yuji.
as you can see, it would
And
have been really cool for Megami's version of the wolf to come back, and if somehow Sukuna was able to still use 10 shadows, he summoned Sukuna's version as well, and Sukuna's and Megami's fought each other, were helping Yuji
yeah,
and trying to help Sukuna. So um I wouldn't say there's a lot
um,
more creative ways it could have been done, but I do like it. I do like the way that Nobara came back. I do have one gripe. I know we go off the official translations that Viz put out, but I really liked how in the fan translations, I forget where, in the official she says, "You better be happy, boys." But I would have really, really liked it. Uh, she says something in the fan translations during the leaks came out. It says like, "How's Opapi for you?" Because it's a callback to when Yuji quote unquote died and came back, and said that when you guys remember when he comes out of the box,
oh,
he goes,
I
"Oh, Papi,"
see.
in like the Japanese
Yeah,
dub.
it's her comeback.
Yeah,
Like
she
I've been gone
says
for the
that.
past couple
She
months.
says
Here's my
something
return.
involving that. So I think it would have been really nice to see kind of a callback like that. But I don't know. I just I'm trying to keep an open mind about Nobara coming back. Like I like it. I'm trying to have it good and bad. I should put it like I like that she's back. I also don't like in some ways. Like what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's both things are cool. Like I mean, like Nobara, one more person that didn't die. Like there were memes as well on Twitter of like a Mahito next to the fraud sticker.
Oh yeah,
He
it's
only
like
killed one person, and even then, he was like battered. Well, I guess two people, but like Nanami, he was like battered and bruised before he could get to him.
mhm. So he's like, you did jack shit. You know,
Yeah, but also
he's on
like
fraud watch.
yeah, the what is it? There's also like and also with this fight, it's also thematically been set up like this is a curse that both Megami and Yuji have to deal with. That is
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
being Sukuna because they both dealt with it at the beginning of the series, and it's been going on till the end. And then like the the second to last finishing blow comes from Nobara. To,
Yeah, because like
which
I don't believe she had any interaction. Like I just say any. She didn't really interact in any way with Sukuna. She was. I think like the only one that comes to mind was at the very beginning when she's like, "You really ate a cursed object." Like she. I don't think she really knew it
yeah,
was
the
Sukuna
only it's
till I don't even know when.
well,
But
I do think that she does know it, and like the other thing, like the only other time she has seen Sukuna like at all was like when he pulled out when he became a mouth on Yuji's hand and he ate the fifth finger
yeah,
um after they fought Esso and Kichizu. Um so I mean, what is it? People also predicted that like, hey, if Nobara's alive, she can just hit the last finger with resonance and the group is set. And they
Mhm.
were right, but I don't know.
Maybe next chapter is when we'll see when Megami comes back, and it'll be like the trio, the original trio fighting.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's kind of what
Yeah.
my thought would be. Not to say how to fix it, but how the story could go from here. See
Hmm.
how because putting it this way, the world revolves around me, and the series should go exactly how I want it to go. So Megami next chapter is going to fight back. Boom, Gege wrote the ending of the series for you. Thank you. I'll take a check in the mail.
Exactly.
Man, they need to
My
hire
address
you on the writing
is
team.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Dude.
yeah. This also is like it sucks that we have like one of these last chapters that's like controversial with it being like one out of the last 5 chapters that we know of.
Mhm.
It's like, come on, dude. What the hell? Like the community, like I don't know. At least I'd hope a little bit of the community would come together a little bit. Um, just because this is like the end of the series. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean by that? Yeah. So it just sucks that we have to have like this thing that's like somewhat controversial towards the ending. Like I had one person that like told me that like I think that her coming back like kind of ruined a lot of the themes of Jujutsu Kaisen entirely, and I'm really frustrated about it. And like he can be what is it? He deserves his opinion like that, and I'm sure that it kind of soils a few things, but
Who? Sorry, I blanked out. Who did you say?
hmm? Oh, just one of my friends that also reads the
Okay.
manga. He let me know separately that like,
Mhm.
hey, this kind of like ruined a lot of the themes behind the entire series. I want
Mhm.
your opinion on it. I was like, well, I can see where he's coming from, but it also just
Yeah.
sucks.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. I think that's a very good take. So
Did he give
Hmm.
specific example, like specific themes that he felt were ruined?
Um, Here, I'll go into it. He also said this because he was looking at the subreddit. Uh, he says, I kind of think Nobara coming back is against the whole entire tone of the story. Um, she kind of shit on the hype train. Um, Another thing is that it kind of feels lame that Yuji pities Sukuna for his worldview and then is unable to kill him on his own. That part I can kind of disagree with just because Megami also participated in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Yuji would have been fucked without Megami sinking
Mhm.
him into the shadows for 1 second. So yeah,
But
uh, I don't know. The Nobara rant. That's what this has been.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
The next chapter, Sukuna's gonna be like, I'm a little too sleepy, guys. I'm so sorry for all I've done. Reverse Chris technique, everyone's lives back.
He's like, I'm sorry, my nephew. I was just preparing you for the real world. And like you said, reverse curse techniques the entire world back to how it was.
Higuruma, Gojo, Yuta, they all come back. They start clapping towards Yuji. Congratulations.
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 Congratulations. I love someone made a joke that's like, oh, ending of the series, last chapter is gonna be like this fight happening, and then it's just gonna cut to like the beginning of the series of like Yuji and Gojo, like where Yuji's tied up in that room, and he's like, okay, so this is what's gonna happen if we let you live. And Yuji's like, sweet, I don't want that to happen either. Just kill me right here.
Just
Like,
off me right
just
here.
off me. Like, that's the ending of the series. Megami never unlocks his full potential and uses his domain. Phil is a little whiny little guy and try to use Maharaga for every situation. Like, we know no character growth because Yuji is the only person ever that motivates character growth in this series. No, just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. It's a joke. I don't think I would actually like probably despise Jujutsu Kaisen if it ended like that. I hate like that sounds like something like a 5-year-old would write. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was all a dream, like type
That
beat. So I was
that
like,
reminds me of like the dumb fucking I don't know if you guys ever watched Game Theory, but specifically with the Pokemon series, like Ash was in a coma the entire time. That's why he wears
yeah.
10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that is just like kind of silly.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Yeah, it's I wouldn't say like a cop out. It's kind of a cop out, but it's like it's like you said, it's not in the same mindset of Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, and like what the series has meant for the past, oh boy, what, 6 7 years. So
Yeah, the 6 years it's been out.
so
Um, I would like to ask, what do you guys think is going to happen next chapter?
That
No,
seems like
nothing.
the dog.
The end.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I feel like Gege has a habit of just deciding to suddenly. His manga feels a lot like a movie in terms of cutting back and forth story wise. And I feel like, but it's like hard to predict. I think more, in my opinion, I think it's more likely that we're going to get another cutaway to something else and then cut back to Sukuna like fully being exorcised from Megami's body, and then we're gonna get Megami and like give Megami and Yuji a last hurrah before Megami like passes out and someone has to go jumpstart his heart again.
Yeah, true. Or go
repair
find
his
it.
Yeah.
his brain that get hit with like 3 like unlimited voids. Like
It's gonna be
Yeah.
something along those lines, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking we're gonna see the continuation of this fight. You know, the ending of it. I would like to see, since we see like Yuji like put his hand into Sukuna's chest. I like to see him maybe. I know like it would be like Megami couldn't switch back if he did it, but like pulled out Sukuna's heart.
That'd be sick.
And kind of been like, okay, Megami's decided that he's not going to, he doesn't want to live anymore. That's fine. So I'm going to end Sukuna here, and Megami can he can live on in a memory that, you know, he
And die
was,
peacefully knowing that his friends are alive.
his friends are alive. Maybe Megami does one other thing that makes it so Yuji can actually pull the heart out, making Megami the catalyst for winning this fight. Because I think that narratively might make a good ending to Sukuna. And then, you know, we have what, 3 more chapters to wrap up the series. Maybe we see the conclusion of the Hikari Arame fight in one chapter, and then one final longer chapter of the ending of the series. Of like Yuji and whoever's left rebuilding the next generation of Jujutsu sorcerers.
Yeah. I can see that.
Because the merger doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the merger is not a factor anymore. That's going to be really fun as well.
Unless if Sukuna just decides to whip it out, because, you know, of course he can fucking do that, even though he's like can't do anything else. With my final breath, I activate the fucking murder.
Kill everyone in Japan. There's nothing left. It is a wasteland.
Nick, what are you thinking? Oh, sorry, Andrew.
I think the last bit of this chapter, we're gonna get, or excuse me, next chapter, we're gonna get a little bit of a callback to the Mahito Yuji sort of situation, like the fucking wolf and the rabbit. Maybe something akin to that. I know that Yuji's perspective has changed quite a bit since then, but something close to that as Sukuna dies. I think that Megami will live. I think it's going to be some weird shit where basically once the body reforms back into Megami's true form, it's going to be like intact for the most part, maybe missing the same limb and everything that Sukuna was by the end of the fight. So I think that will happen. It will end off with probably Megami returning back to his body, and then the next chapter is going to be him dispelling the merger and ending the culling game. With that, we're going to see like how society reacts to everything with Jujutsu sorcery.
Or not. Probably not, but we'll see.
That is true. Well, what is it? They focused a little bit on it right before the Culling game, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. Although we did have the whole thing with the U.S. Army invading, and then nothing happened from that.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think he would show that because I think the speculation for the grand finale, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be very happy-go-lucky with Yuji, Nobara, the rest of Jujutsu High, being told like I don't know, like a grade 1 or a special grade spirit has been found in this area, exercise it, and then it's them being like, we're still Jujutsu sorcerers, ha ha ha, clap clap. Yeah, while Yuji is now just labeled the strongest. And he has like shrine now for some reason, but yeah. I say for some reason, it is just engraved into him now, so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Wahoo. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Or we do see old Yuji as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That may very well be the same process as well.
Yeah.
We see Yuji, like you said, old Yuji dying, surrounded by a bunch of people.
True, preach. It's all of his students from Jujutsu High.
I don't know if he would have kids or something, but he passes on the mentality of like surround yourself with people.
Gege like watched for Koshi write the ending for My Hero. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cook with that. Yuji's gonna do the exact same shit.
You know, I used to be the strongest sorcerer. I beat Sukuna, you know?
Yeah, I beat the greatest century-long curse, not century, millennium?
Millennium curse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I actually like that. Yuji, like, becoming a teacher. I think that could be...
Yeah, that's also, someone made, like, a fake leak that's what this chapter was going to be.
That's fucked
and
up.
It was gonna, yeah. And it's going to be like Yuji and I think Yuta, like they were going to be the only two. Also, I definitely feel like Yuta may live. There's a strong chance.
Like, do you think he's going to be stuck in Gojo's body or is he going to get back to his own?
Great question. I think he's going to get back to his own.
Okay,
unfortunately, I think that everything will come back. Yeah, I'm sure that Rika will like. I don't know. They're gonna bring back the body. He can still breathe. He just can't move or anything. And they unpeel the head and like Rika smells it like, oh, that's Yuta's brain right there. Then they switch it back around.
That is something I feel like she would do.
Oopsie whoopsie. The toys were mixed up. I put this Lego head on the wrong one. Time to fix it.
Comparing it to Legos is so funny.
God.
Oh, I don't know why.
All right. Well, I guess we can wrap it up there. Regardless, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Jumpcast. We will see you guys next week because we do in fact have another chapter coming in 7 days.
Yay.
Thank God we don't have to wait.
I think that there will be one more break.
Yes, I think it's this chapter, next chapter, break, 2 or 3 more.
Right.
If I remember the schedule.
Yeah,
correctly.
he's been on the consistent 3 chapters and a break. So yeah.
Which is good. Bro's not absolutely killing himself, but kind of killing himself.
Yeah.
Regardless. Thank you all for listening to this episode of the Jumpcast. We hope to see you next week for episode 80. We're getting to these milestone numbers now. And we'll see what we're planning on doing after the series ends. We've been discussing exactly what we want to be talking about, how we want to continue.
Yeah, we'll still do something. We like talking a little bit too much, so
we love our degrees, our yapology degrees.
Yeah, yapology degrees.
I don't know if I ever told the listeners, but every day I wake up to the newest episode that we release and I listen to the whole hour of just me talking to myself. I sometimes even just try to skip past what the 2 Maxes say. I just
Nick edits them so it's only him talking.
Yeah.
And then you listen to it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Dude, do you sound like you're from like Blue Lock or something?
God.
My ego.
Oh, I'm so good at this.
But if you have ideas about what we should do for the ending of the series. If you want to tell us to just, pardon my language, fuck off and never talk about a series on the internet again, please tell us. We'd love to hear you guys' feedback.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Got a series that you want us to cover? Throw it in the chat. If it's not shonen, I'm not gonna be happy.
Yeah. I do not want to read your yee ass romance mangas.
If you want us to read yaoi or yuri, let us know. We probably won't, but let us know.
Dude, that would actually be so...
We should do an episode of that, actually.
Jesus Christ. All right, we're going to end the episode there. See you guys next week. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.